All right, so let's get some affairs in order, some ideas in order here. In the early parts of my trial, I think Judge Owsley was skirting around the issue about the lawyer just railroading me, going over the issue, and and also the public defender's office also railroaded me as well, and he knew that. They both do it, and that was it. They railroaded me over the free lawyer, knowing the wishes of the appeals court and probably the state Supreme Court, but thinking that there was no way I was going to be able to appeal anyway. Spending 30 days in jail, the availability of lawyers is it's impossible. You don't see the lawyers. They prioritize the more severe cases, I guess. So I got that appeal, and it took a long time, a number of months. And in that time, as we waited for the appeal decision to happen, Judge Owsley kept forcing me back in the court, giving updates. But he said that if I just paid him the $420, that would satisfy the updates, because that's all that he cared about. He didn't care about the jail time. So it was a money grab. They're doing their own thing, trying to make that money. As elected officials too, it's like they go for the election just to be able to get some easy money, denying people lawyers and fining the non-lawyer people, holding trials on Zoom, and then deleting the records, just using poor media sources overall. So I got the appeal, and it comes back with the appeals court talked about how it's absolute. I should have a lawyer if I face any jail time, but they fail to cite statute 15.175, which is what the IDF or the public defender's office cites, and it talks about extreme hardship financially and the severity of the crime, and that's it. It's kind of a broad definition, and since the appeals court did not address that, I show the public defender's office what the appeals court has ruled, and I think they were looking for that statute to be addressed directly, and because it was not, they're blowing off the appeals court decision. Okay, they're blowing it off, and it's like they if that's what they're going for, well, I mean, that is a tactic, okay, to say that, to argue that because the appeals court is not mentioning the statute specifically, that they don't have to listen. Okay, the appeals court is supposed to oversee all the judicial functions below them. They're above the city court, they're above the public defender's office, because the appeals court oversees ineffective assistance of counsel. All right, but what about for me? It's not so much ineffective assistance of counsel as it is just denial of the service outright. Okay, it's it's I don't know, a gray area that they think they could just kind of lurk, they can sneak around. So the public defender's office is ignoring the higher ups because I think because the higher ups is not mentioning the statute that they cited me, the 15.175 or whatever, and that statute 15.175 is higher than the is higher than the appeals courts, right? Because that's coming from lawmakers. The lawmakers make that law. So if the appeals court isn't really citing it, talking, explaining what great hardship really means, explaining the severity of the crime. But, I mean, they kind of, the appeals court kind of said if you face any jail time, then they're addressing the severity of the crime, any jail time. But, okay, what about the financial part? Maybe they just didn't feel that needed to be addressed. Maybe they didn't need to feel like they needed to say the statute exactly. They explained a pretty sizable paragraph about how they feel about people facing jail and if they're poor, getting public assistance in their defense, like my defense. Okay, Judge Owsley in the first trial bulldozed over that. It was comic. You'd almost laugh at what he did, but experiencing it, I spent almost 30 days in jail with him bulldozing over the wishes of the higher courts. Okay, and he had to be reminded of what they see as the intentions for trials and how they should go. And he probably recused himself, the silent parts of the recusal, the unmentionable parts of the recusal, where he's not going to say that he didn't want to risk getting slapped down a second time for denying me a lawyer. That's something Judge Barber is a little more hesitant about. Judge Barber tried to bulldoze me through into a trial, asking the prosecutor, "Are you ready?" And he comes to me, "Are you ready?" And I'm like, "No, no, I'm not ready. I don't have a lawyer. You took my notes away. I mean, I can't do anything." It would have been an easy win for Cloyd, and that's exactly what Cloyd wanted. I mean, the way this system is set up, it's perfect to give Cloyd 100% wins for his whole career. He's like, "Oh, how is Cloyd getting like 100% win rate?" And it's because of the bulldozing, but it's going against the wishes of the appeals court. But what can I do at this point to improve my situation here? It looks like I should make like a motion to ask for a halt to my prosecution until I get a free lawyer. I think I need to make a motion to halt the prosecution until I get my free lawyer. Okay, that's what it's looking like. And I've been looking at ChatGPT and asking various questions about this, the rankings, and just how to address it, because I don't see how the Third Circuit Court of Appeals needs to make another decision for the same issue. I just don't know how to do it. I can address the city court and let them know that this is a problem, that I'm being denied a lawyer. The city court, I forced him into going through the process of approval for my my financial situation and getting approved. But then the public defender flat out, the secretary at least, she's not an officer, and she don't even know what an officer is apparently. She's saying that she has the final say. Well, the appeals court has the final say, but she just doesn't know that. And I think Judge Owsley also was thinking like her as well, and probably still wants to think that way, just recuse himself and forget about the whole matter. But Judge Owsley almost sounded like he has the final say. You know, the final bite of the apple thing. He gets to eat the whole apple pretty much. He thought. But there's this is a government function, and there's rankings, and he's at the lowest part of the totem pole, just like Judge Barber is. And Judge Barber being the ad hoc judge coming in, now he knows what happened to Judge Owsley, and he's being more careful. And I wonder how careful will he be? He's been somewhat careful, but now I got to bring this new problem up that they're denying me at the public defender's office. And what do you want to do from there? I'd say I should just make a motion saying halt the prosecution until we get this figured out. That's my opinion. Whoops.